Welcome back to another episode of Coaches Weekly. I'm here with men's head basketball coach, Coach Kohler, on his return from Colorado. Coach, How was the trip overall?
It was an awesome trip. It was a great opportunity to go out there and compete. We did a lot of things. We went to the Olympic Museum, went hiking. And even where we stayed, it was an incredible place, huge game room and everything. So it was more than just that game. That was a big part of it. But it was a really awesome opportunity to continue to grow.
And one of the cool things about that trip was you stayed in a giant house, as you mentioned. You went on a lot of trips. That's really cool to have one of those trips at the beginning of the season, especially with a lot of new guys on the team returning. And after last year where you didn't really have much, what does that do for the team going forward for the season? Yeah,
you said it. That's exactly why we did that. We wanted to play that in the very beginning of the year. It just helps us grow our chemistry and continue to be more connected. And we told the guys, obviously we would have liked a better result, but you got to earn that. And this is way bigger than just this trip. This is, for the rest of the year.
So let's talk about the game now. You fall to Colorado College 60-59 in a late game. You guys climb back after a first half that was kind of up and down for you guys offensively. But I think one of the biggest things that maybe a lot of guys haven't played in was the altitude. You guys were almost 8,000 feet up. What was it like in the first goings of that game playing in such an environment?
Yeah, I think in the very beginning, the first couple of minutes, we were really jacked. And I think too excited, but it's been a little while. So I think that initial kind of first time out, you could see it in our guys that it hit them a little bit. And then after that, honestly, I don't think it was that big of a deal. I think it was more just our decision making early on that wasn't great offensively. And then we just continued to compete defensively, and that got us back in it.
In the first half, your team shot 1 of 11 from behind the three-point line. In the second half, you improved on that. You went 3 of 7. You were more selective on your shots. And then from the field, you shot just under 30% in the first half, and then you got to 46% in the second half. What was that halftime adjustment you told the guys in order to get them back in the swing of things offensively?
Yeah, we were just too rushed. We're going to play fast. And, shooting 11 threes in the first half, that's going to be what we do. But they weren't inside out. They weren't all really good looks. And our offense didn't help our defense, so that's where we kind of were putting ourselves up against the wall. Second half, we just talked about just relaxing, getting the ball inside out, and playing quick, but playing fast, but not in a hurry, and I think our decision making was a lot better.
Well, one player that stood out, led the team in scoring, was Landon Gladney, the senior. Didn't play last year, but we got a first glimpse of him in this game. What has his role been on the team in practice and his return to play in this season so far?
Yeah, he's just getting his feet back under him again. It's been almost a couple of years since he's played. He made a difference defensively and scoring a little bit, and he'll get back to it. He just needs to get into his rhythm a little bit. On the glass, we need him to be a monster like he usually has done. And then just in practice, you can see just on a daily basis, he's just getting more and more comfortable. And he's just a different guy. He's way more mature in terms of understanding what he can bring to the table and how he can be a leader. So to be able to bring a guy back like that has been really helpful for us.
One guy that made a difference his freshman year and now in his sophomore campaign already off to a good start off the bench. Emmanuel Wilson, he had 7 boards. And usually last year he was just a guy that was to drive to the paint and score. But to see him put up 7 boards, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's huge. So the reason that E-Man got into the mix early on last year was because of his ability to get on the boards. No one could keep him off the glass. He was doing an awesome job. Even in our film and our breakdown on the box outs, he's going out in textbook, hitting guys, and then going to get it. So he understands. We've been emphasizing it. We've been talking about it. We want to be one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and he understands that, hey, I have an opportunity to go make an impact doing that. So if you can have that, and we can continue to have him getting 5 to 7 rebounds off the bench, and we know what he adds offensively and defensively as well, that's just going to be a big boost for us.
At the beginning, obviously the first game of the season is always the exciting one, but then to lose in the last seconds, but then you have to refocus and you come back home. You have a game this weekend at Knox College. What are you trying to send the message to the guys? What are you trying to tell them in order to regroup and revamp for the weekend? Yeah, well, you just go back to work. We said if we would have won this, it would have been the same thing, and if we didn't, it's going to be the same thing. I think offensively we have to be bigger. We have to be better in our decision making.
Defensively, you force 25 turnovers and you hold a team to 36% and 60 points, you should have a pretty good chance to win. So I think we're way further ahead defensively than we are offensively. So we're really kind of emphasizing our decision making in practice, limiting those turnovers, and then just going out and continuing to compete. Knox is a really good team. Coach is doing a great job with them. They're an old team. And they're going to be jacked up, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Let's go back one more time. Last question. Talk about those turnovers. 25 turnovers. That's a staggering number for a game. What's the defensive mindset? Because obviously to get 25 turnovers, you're doing something right in the scouting report and in game.
Yeah, I think we just are trying to make people uncomfortable. When we did shift to our zone, I think that really changed things for them. We use that as a weapon to change, because our man-to-man, we pressure and we get up and we take teams out of what they do. But that zone's just a little bit different. And our guys have done a really good job of having high active hands and just creating chaos. And so, just being active and flying around and making plays, you can't play that if you're not going to play hard. If you are kind of casual in that, you're going to get picked apart. And to our guys' credit, they were really active, and that's kind of what got us back in it.
Well, let's see if your team can bounce back this weekend. CUC men's basketball travels to Knox College Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the coverage here on CUCougars.com. This has been Coaches Weekly with head coach Kohler, Steve Kohler. We'll see you back next week.